So I recently found out I was pregnant, and I've been reading pregnancy books like crazy. And me and my fiance went to our doctor's appointment the other day, and we were looking at some of the pamphlets that they had out. And one that caught my eye was cord blood donation. So today I'll be talking about cord blood donation, what it is, how it's done, how it's stored, and why it's important. So what is cord blood? Cord blood comes from a baby's umbilical cord and the placenta once the baby's born. The blood contains life-saving cells called stem cells, which are used to cure diseases like some cancers, immune deficiency disorders, and like hereditary disorders like sickle cell anemia. The donated cord blood is used for research to improve treatment for future patients. What happens when you donate? When a mother donates her baby's blood cord, it is stored in a public cord bank for anyone who needs it. Donating the baby's cord blood is free and painless because it happens after the baby's born and the umbilical cord is cut. If you meet eligibility requirements, the donated blood goes to a public blood bank, and it's stored there for physicians who have access to it if they need to use it. The donors program is called Be the Match Registry. Once in the registry, it can be accessed by physicians. Some basic eligibility requirements is if the baby's premature, then they can't use the umbilical blood cord. If the mother has gotten a tattoo within the last 12 months, then they can't use the blood. And if the mother has had a blood transfusion, then she can't donate blood. If you do not meet the requirements for the blood cord program, then they just use it for research. Why it's important. The National Merit of Donors program says that banks really need the blood because they have successfully done over 4,000 cord blood transplants in the last 10 years. It is also really important for newborns who are born from diverse cultures and ethnic backgrounds to donate their blood cords because some of these diseases are inherited through their ethnic background, and they can only find a match through a newborn who is of their ethnic background. Many couples do not know about this program. My parents didn't know about it when my little sister was born, so they just discarded her umbilical cord. But I think it's really important for new parents and future parents to do some research on this because it saves lives. And when my baby's born, I plan to donate because there's storage fees if you decide not to donate. Like if you decide to keep your baby's umbilical cord for the baby's future use or your family's future use, it costs $1,662 to store it alone, and then it costs $162 a year for storage fees. Today I've talked about what cord blood storage is, the donations, what it is, how it's used, and why it's important.
Charlie, what did you think?
I thought you had a good topic, and you're really loud and project really well. It was very clear. I think it was a little bit short. We had a lot of good reasons, and it was pretty persuasive. So I didn't know what it was, and I'm all for it. That's awesome. So yeah, it was good.
All right, I like the topic. I think you have a nice lead into it with your personal story. Congratulations, by the way. The transition to the topic, I think, needed to be a little bit smoother, and that's one of the same issues. There you go. That's one of the same issues that we talked about before, like the transitions when you're getting into the main point. You've got the mechanical part right, but it sounds really mechanical, and so you need to find a smoother way to get from one idea to the next. You understand the need for the structure, but now it needs to flow a little bit more, and so that's where there's a little bit of a weakness. On the content issue, you've got some good factual data about cord blood. I think that you need to develop the argument more. For example, all of the potential uses for cord blood, if we had some illustrations or stories that talked about the difficulty somebody faced with not having an appropriate match or not being able to get the kinds of stem cells that are available in the cord blood or the placenta blood, that would motivate us a little bit more. I think the idea that you can donate it versus storing it, that was a little bit confusing to me, because at the end you talk about how expensive it is to store it, and I didn't even know that that was an option earlier on. So it seems like your argument is that we ought to be considering donating this instead of storing it for yourself or for your family, and that would work better. That's a more appropriate thing to do, which I think is a good perspective, but it has to be a little bit clearer. As a consequence, it sounds a little bit more like an informative speech. You're telling us about this subject rather than trying to convince us, and I think you need to do more on that. On the presentation issues, everything is really good. You look at the audience, you are standing confidently while you're speaking to us, your gestures look natural. It's just, you need more to say. It's a 3.5-minute speech out of 10, so there's a lot more you could put into the presentation. And I thought the typing thing was annoying. Holy criminy, did it sound like we had a tank coming through the wall here during your speech? That was a little loud. Yeah, exactly. Dinosaurs are about to burst through the wall here.